Let me ask you something honest. When was the last time you hugged someone and truly felt that the moment meant something? Not just a quick, awkward pat on the back, not a stiff, robotic greeting, but a real, warm, connected moment that lingered even after it ended? Most men have never experienced that, not because they lack confidence, not because they're unattractive, but because nobody ever taught them that a hug is not just a gesture, it is a language. And like any language, it can be spoken poorly or it can be spoken fluently. Today, I'm going to teach you to speak it fluently. 4 precise, psychologically grounded rules that transform an ordinary hug into a moment she genuinely remembers. A moment that creates attraction without a single word spoken. Stay with me until the end, because Rule 4 is the detail that almost no man ever learns, and it is the single most powerful thing you will do in any physical interaction. Before we get into the rules, I want you to understand something fundamental. Touch is processed by the nervous system before the brain consciously registers it. That means before she even thinks about what just happened, her body has already formed an impression of you. Her nervous system has already decided, is this man safe? Is this man confident? Does this man have presence? You are being evaluated in real time, silently, instantly, and completely beneath her awareness. This is not manipulation. This is biology. And understanding it gives you the ability to communicate something most men never communicate: value, safety, and masculine presence, all through something as simple and natural as a hug. Now let's get into the rules. Rule 1, the anchoring palm, the foundation of everything. Every hug begins with a choice that most men make unconsciously. Where do you place your hand? The majority of men default to the upper back, the shoulder blades, the top of the spine. It is the safe zone, the friend zone of touch. It communicates warmth, yes, but it communicates nothing more than that. It is the handshake of hugs, forgettable, neutral, expected. Some men go even further in the wrong direction and deliver the dreaded pat. The quick, rhythmic tap on the back that signals one thing clearly: I am not comfortable here, and I want this to end soon. Here is what you do instead. As you move into the hug, place your palm firmly, but gently, on her lower back, just above the tailbone. Flat palm, steady pressure, calm and grounded. Now, let me explain why this works on a neurological level. That region of the lower back is associated with the body's sense of stability and grounding. When touched with calm, confident pressure, it communicates something directly to the nervous system, not to the logical mind, but to the deeper, more instinctive part of the brain. It says, this person is grounded, this person is present, this person holds space. Her conscious mind may not register any of this, but her body does, and her body responds to it. The key here is the quality of your touch. It must be calm, it must be certain, there is no hesitation, no adjustment, no second guessing. Your hand arrives there with quiet authority and stays there with the same quiet authority. That combination, placement plus certainty, is what communicates masculine presence. Not aggression, not dominance in an aggressive sense, but the kind of steady, grounded energy that makes a person feel safe in your arms. Practice this awareness. Know where your hand is going before the hug begins. Intention shapes outcome every single time. Quick pause. If you're finding this valuable, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Every week, we break down the psychology of attraction, presence, and confidence at a level most people never encounter. You don't want to miss what's coming next on this channel. Now back to the rules. Rule 2, unwavering containment, the language of confidence. Here is a truth that no one talks about directly. A hesitant hug is worse than no hug at all. When a man moves into a hug with uncertainty, arms loosely placed, body slightly leaning back, pressure inconsistent, it communicates something immediately. It communicates that he is unsure of himself, that he is seeking permission at every step, that he is hoping this goes okay rather than knowing it will. She feels all of that, every bit of it, not through analysis, but through sensation. The second rule is what I call unwavering containment, and it is exactly what it sounds like. When you move into a hug, your arms close with steady, even, deliberate pressure. Not tight. You are not squeezing, not collapsing against her like you need the support. Just solid, consistent, present. Think of it like a firm handshake, not crushing, not limp, but confident and even. The same principle applies here, scale to the full embrace. What she experiences in those seconds is the sensation of being held within a stable frame. Her body briefly registers, I am enclosed, I am contained, I am safe. And this is where the psychology becomes fascinating. The sensation of being safely enclosed, held by something stable, triggers a biological comfort response. Cortisol, the stress hormone, begins to decrease. The nervous system starts to settle. And in that settling, something subtle happens. She associates that comfort with you, not consciously. She is not thinking, oh, his hug lowered my cortisol levels. She is simply feeling, I feel good right now. I feel calm. I feel safe with him. That feeling becomes an association, and associations are the building blocks of attraction. This is why weak hugs leave no impression, and confident, contained hugs leave lasting ones. The body remembers how it felt, and it wants to feel that way again. So as you practice this, focus on one thing: consistency of pressure. Arrive fully, stay fully, no hesitation, no adjustment, no nervousness expressed through your arms. Just calm, certain containment. Rule 3, the timing window, where chemistry actually happens. This rule is where most men unknowingly destroy everything they've built in the first 2 rules. A short hug, 2 seconds or less, feels like a transaction, like a greeting on a checklist. It communicates, I acknowledged you. Now we move on. There is nothing wrong with it in a purely social sense, but it creates zero emotional impact. It is forgotten the moment it ends. Here is what the science tells us. Around the 5 to 7 second mark of sustained warm physical contact, the brain begins releasing oxytocin. Oxytocin is often called the bonding hormone, and for good reason. It is the chemical responsible for feelings of trust, warmth, closeness, and attachment. It is released between mothers and newborns, between close friends, between romantic partners, and it begins to release at 5 to 7 seconds of a hug. That means every man who pulls away at 2 or 3 seconds is walking away from the exact moment when something real was about to begin. He is leaving the chemistry on the table. Now, most men pull away early for a specific reason: fear. Fear of overstaying, fear of making it awkward, fear of her thinking he wants too much. And here is the painful irony: that fear is felt. She senses the pull, she senses the retreat, and it communicates uncertainty, which is the opposite of what you want. Here is what staying present communicates instead: I am comfortable here. I'm not anxious. I'm not rushing. I have no need to escape this moment. That is a powerful silent statement. So in practice, when you feel the urge to pull away around the 2 or 3 second mark, breathe instead. Stay. Let your arms remain steady. Let your breath slow. Feel your own feet on the floor. Be in the moment completely. Between seconds 5 and 7, something shifts. Her breath slows. Her shoulders drop. Her body settles into yours. The outside world briefly disappears. This is not fantasy. This is physiology. And you created it simply by staying calm and present long enough for the biology to activate. That window, 5 to 7 seconds of grounded, confident presence, is where a casual hug becomes an emotional memory. Don't rush it. Confidence lives in that stillness. If this is landing for you, if you're seeing touch and presence in a completely new way right now, make sure you're subscribed. There's so much more depth to explore on this channel around unspoken attraction, confidence, and masculine presence. Hit subscribe and let's keep going. Rule 4, the release. The detail that makes you unforgettable. This is it, the rule almost no man ever learns, and the one that separates a man who is remembered from a man who is forgotten the moment he walks away. You have placed your hand with intention. You held her with calm confidence. You stayed present long enough for oxytocin to begin flowing. Everything has built to this moment. And now, how you end the hug determines everything that comes after. Most men end a hug the same way they end a handshake. They simply let go and step back. Clean separation, move on, and in doing so, they erase the emotional fingerprint they just created. Here is what you do instead. As you begin to separate, slowly, never abruptly, let one hand trail along the length of her arm, from the shoulder down to the elbow and lightly off the forearm. Slow, deliberate, barely there, like the last note of a song that fades rather than stops. Alternatively, and this works powerfully in the right context, Let your fingers lightly graze the side of her neck or brush softly through the edge of her hair as you pull back. This must be soft. This must be intentional. This is a whisper, not a statement. The lightest possible contact. Now, here is the neuroscience behind why this is so extraordinarily effective. The skin contains specialized nerve fibers called C-tactile afferents. These fibers are specifically tuned to slow, light stroking touch, the kind delivered at roughly 1 to 10 centimeters per second. When activated, they send signals directly to the insular cortex, the part of the brain associated with emotional processing and social bonding. In plain terms, slow, light, trailing touch is processed as deeply meaningful by the brain. It is literally wired to create emotional connection. That faint, final contact leaves what neuroscientists call a sensory echo, a lingering impression on the skin and in the memory. Her body remembers the feeling even after the physical contact has ended. There is a phantom sensation, subtle, pleasant, impossible to fully explain, that remains. She will not analyze this. She will not think, that was tactile stimulation of my C-tactile afferents. She will simply notice, in some quiet part of her awareness, that something felt different, that this felt unlike any hug she has had in a long time. And she will want that feeling again. This is how you become the man she thinks about later. Not because of what you said, not because of how you looked, but because of how you made her feel in a moment that lasted less than 10 seconds. That is the power of precision. Let me bring this all together for you. Attraction is never built through speeches or perfect lines. It is built through awareness, millimeter level, second by second awareness of pressure, placement, timing, and intention. Rule 1. The anchoring palm. Place your hand on her lower back with calm certainty. Rule 2. Unwavering containment. Hold with steady, even pressure that communicates confidence without aggression. Rule 3. The timing window. Stay present for 5 to 7 seconds and let the chemistry activate naturally. Rule 4. The release. Trail your hand slowly as you separate and leave a sensory echo she will carry with her long after you have gone. These 4 rules work because they speak directly to the nervous system. Below logic, below analysis, below conscious thought. They communicate value, safety, and presence in the most direct way possible. Use this with respect. Use it with sincerity. These tools are for men whose interest is genuine, who want to create real connection, not manufacture false impressions. Used with integrity, this knowledge will transform how you show up in every interaction. If this video shifted something in how you understand connection, presence, and attraction, like it right now. That simple action helps this content reach the men who need it most. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to master the full psychology of unspoken attraction, masculine confidence, and social presence, subscribe to this channel and follow along. We are just getting started. Influence lives in silence. Presence speaks louder than words. And now you understand exactly why. I'll see you in the next one.